and yet knowing of all the situations it could take him in and the ultimate danger, still was willing to go, as many have gone on before. But yet, Lord, this was one of ours from here, from this church, this community, this family. And Lord, it hurts. But we also know the why, because he wouldn't have it any other way. So Lord, we just trust you to help us to make it through the days to come. And we'll be careful to give you all the praise in your glorious name. Amen. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Major General Umbarger.
As I stand before you all today, representing the over 14,000 soldiers and airmen of the Indiana National Guard who are mourning the loss of this wonderful son, grandson, brother, uncle, combat veteran of both Iraq and Afghanistan, a proud military policeman, and a brave citizen soldier, Specialist Arronn Fields. I personally never had the honor of coming to know Specialist Fields, but I have come to know him through the eyes and the cherished memories of those closest to him, his family, his friends, and the many soldiers who have served with him. I'd like to share some of those stories with you from some of the men of his squad, platoon, company, Task Force Guardian. One of the best memories I have of Arronn was always before we went out on a mission. He would always be the first person in the truck, on time, every day. He would either be in the driver's seat wiping down his dash and windows, or outside the truck wiping down his beloved international logo on the hood. He loved his truck so much that I remember asking him, "Hey, Fields, what are you going to do with your truck when you go on leave?" He quickly responded back, "No one's driving my truck. I'm going to take it home with me. It's going to fly all the way back to Indiana." He was always the guy to go to when you were down. He could always make you laugh. There was a night a couple weeks ago when Arronn and I were out smoking and joking when I said, "You know, man, when it's my time, it's my time. And you know, I got no qualms with that." Soon after that, he looked at me and he said, "Shut up, Robinson. You're going home. You got that?" Arronn was always the guy to keep you on track when you started to fall off. The one thing that I'll always and forever stick out in my mind about Arronn was the love he had for his family. Specialist Arronn Fields loved his job, he loved what he did, and he was the best in the Army to do it. I only ask you to remember the good moments we all had with him. He was a brother to me and a brother to all of us. I love you, bud, and I'll miss you. Take care. Another one of his brothers in arms had this to say about him: I just want you to see him through the eyes of what Arronn was. He was an outdoorsman. He was the symbol of saying a good country boy can survive. Arronn was a simple guy. He didn't want to start trouble. He didn't want to cause a ruckus. He just wanted to work on his old hot rods and play with his kitty cats back home. He never wanted to be the center of attention. And he kept to himself unless you were talking about fishing or talking about what his plans were for his muscle cars when he got back home. He was the guy that made his bed. He was the guy that made his bed each and every day. He always had a cup of coffee or a cigarette in his hand. He was the guy that, again, loved his family, loved his friends, and he certainly loved us in his squad. Arronn didn't complain a lot. He just did his job, and he did it better than any other soldier I've ever met. He was a true definition of the American soldier. Not here for a paycheck or only for his own military career, but because he enjoyed what he did and he found a skill and an experience that many Americans will never have. I know Arronn would be mad at us right now for making a big commotion over him. He just wanted to be there for his buddies, even if it would always talk smack to them. He loved his squad now, and his squad from his previous deployment. The memories of that stand out in my head the memories of that stand out in my head, the most of us of him behind the wheel of his Max Pro, his MRAP, his vehicle, cruising along like he was meant to do. But the one that stands out the most is a conversation Arronn and a few guys of us had in 3-1 before we left Texas. We were all talking about this deployment and talking about the worst case scenario as if we would end up losing someone. Arronn chimed in and told us to shut up and that you're all going home together. Don't you think like that at all, because you're all going home together. And you know what? He was right. One way or another, we will all be coming home together. So I ask you, after today, don't dwell on the sadness of Arronn's loss no longer being with us, but dwell on the good moments we all had with him. Also, never forget Guardian 3-1 Alpha Delta. The senior non-commissioned officer who was assigned with Arronn on this mission gave the following remarks. Several days prior to the death of Specialist Field, I was given the privilege to be driven by him on a patrol. During the patrol, I kept wondering who it was that was driving. Everything about the operation of the 25-ton vehicle was flawless. The speed, the movement through the marketplace, and the communication with others within the vehicle was absolutely perfect. At the end of the trip, while we were clearing our weapons going out into the JSOP, I asked Specialist Field, "Hey, were you driving this one on this vehicle, on this route?" He just quietly replied, "Yep." I told him that was perfect driving. I couldn't have asked for anyone to do a better job. Great job. To which he looked at me and just simply said, "Thanks." When I was picked up on the night of May 21st, and I crawled into the back of the Max Pro, it was dark, it was a night mission, and I wondered who was driving me around. When I saw that Corporal McCullum was the TC, troop commander, I knew it would be Specialist Fields that was driving. I knew then, and at that time, that I was in good hands. In coming to get to know over the last few days his mother, Jackie, Bill, his stepfather, Lee, his father, his brother and sister, Chris and April, they all spoke of how he loved to restore vehicles. His special 69 Mustang, spotless in every way, that old pickup truck that he loved. And they spoke of how he loved his country, and he loved being in